Here we go, guys. We are live. Oh, thumbnails over here. What a disaster. Already having technical difficulties on day one, guys. Appreciate everybody jumping in here, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. I'm Blockchain Crusader, Crusading through these blockchains, guys, and we're going to be covering live price predictions here for 2026 for Bitcoin, silver, gold, and any stock of your choice, along with any altcoin of your choice. So make sure you're dropping your altcoins and any other asset class you want into the chat, and we will be covering it here live on the show. It's January 1st, guys. Happy New Year's for everybody out there. We made it. We're in another year. We got to get ready for the grind. We got to get prepared for what 2026 is going to bring for crypto, silver, and many other markets overall, guys. So make sure you guys are all tuned in. You guys are all getting excited, filling up those like meters, smashing those likes, because we've got a lot to talk about, guys. We have a lot to talk about here. Let me make sure I am in the right place, make sure I'm not missing any chats. And I'll give you guys a little chance here to warm up and start dropping messages into the chat. But straight off the gate, we're jumping right into Bitcoin, guys. We're jumping right into Bitcoin here. Quick and easy here, guys. As you guys can see, we do have some big key areas overall, right? Right here, right now, we are below the yearly 2025 range, right? We are currently sitting at 87,900. The 2026 yearly open is currently at 87,500. We start dropping below that, and we're looking for targets around 83,700 to around 80,500 if we start taking out these local lows here. We start with these are the big lows that we're looking for, between 83.7 to 80,500. Now, if we start getting back above, we start moving above 89,000, we're going to be looking for this $94,000 to $98,000 region. Now, why do I say this? Well, we have some big key areas here, right? Previous month high, the December high is 94,562, give or take. And we have the value area low of the 2025 yearly range sitting right there. And then we got some key areas around, oh, right, let me move this up a little bit more so you guys can see. We've got some key areas between, like I said, 94.5 all the way to 98,000. Some big key levels here around 96 to 97 that we need to break. So this is going to be a big area of resistance overall between 98 to 94. If Bitcoin can start living and closing dailies, weeklies, hopefully even monthlies, right, above 98,000, we are most likely going to be rotating for 104 to 111. Between 104 to 111 is going to be the next key critical areas as we enter the yearly range for 2025, and we will most likely start running towards this naked point of control up at 104.7. And if we can get through that, we have another target at 111, and then obviously the value area high of the range. If we rotate the full range to the upside, we're running back up towards 120. But that doesn't mean that it's just one straight shot to the upside. There are plenty of scenarios that we can play out here where Bitcoin could pump from the 87,000 that we're at right now. We come up to this 94 to 98,000, which is a very critical area here, also called the PP zone. Shout out to Magic Internet Money, right, for putting me on this. He is the one that has discovered, or not, might not have discovered it, but has definitely put a strong emphasis on his analysis on the PP zone, which is between 94,500 to about 98,000, which historically is a very strong area that if price comes back up to and rejects from, right, then we are most likely looking for taking out the lower lows and pushing down a lot lower into a longer bear market. Right now, if we start living above this PP zone, start living above 98,000, closing weeklies and monthlies above it, right, and breaking this resistance, then, you know, bear market shortened, right, kind of situation where we're not looking for lowers, we're not looking for lower lows, we're looking for a push to the higher upside, and that would put us and keep us within the yearly range of 2025, which has targets between 104 to 111 before pushing for potentially an all-time high for Bitcoin. Now, like I said, if we come up to this PP zone along with the value area low, the previous year range, and we get rejected from this area, then yes, we are going to be looking for some lower targets here. And these lower targets will be. Let me bring up my charts here. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Nope, not that one either. There we go. And where is my... Hold on, I'm missing one more range. Where is it? Nope. 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 Hold on. Where the heck is this thing? Q3. Gosh, what a mess. Oh, here it is. All right. If we start dropping below 80,000, we go up to this PP zone, get rejected, and we start most likely dropping back down below 80. We will be looking between $73,000 to $67,000 for Bitcoin, right? Once we start losing that $80,000 price point, right, our next big target to the downside will be this 73.7, taking out the low for April of 2025, or I should say the low of 2025 overall. And if that happens, we are looking to fall back into this range. If Bitcoin's price falls into the 2024 yearly range, we are looking for 67 down to $57,000 for Bitcoin. Not saying that we will or that we're guaranteeing going to be dropping down there. Oops, did not mean to do that. I'm just saying, if we see this rejection from the PP zone, we start taking out these November lows of 80,500. We will be looking for this 74,000, and if we start dropping below 74, then the snowball continues to escalate and get out of control. We could be dropping all the way down to 57. This is going to be the make it or break it situation, right? For Bitcoin to push up. If Bitcoin pushes up first and we go for this zone, we better get above it. Now, if Bitcoin pushes down first and takes out these lows, right, of 80,500, we sweep this area, but we still don't go down to 73. We just sweep these areas, take out these lows, and then push up higher. A lot more bullish scenario, in my personal opinion. A lot more bullish scenario for Bitcoin to take out the lows of the previous quarter or the previous month and then push towards the PP zone to start climbing up higher. That is going to be a more overall likelihood of continuation to the upside. Happy New Year's. Appreciate everybody here in the chat saying Happy New Year's. Thomas, Imagine on Demand. Thank you so much for that. Do you eat water? Gosh, what's up with these comments, man? It's day one. Day one of 2026, guys. We can do better. It's day one of 2026. Let me jump over here into the chat over here on the Tiki Talkie. See how everybody's doing over here. Let me bring this brightness up a little bit so I can see it better. Appreciate everybody over here smashing those likes. Let's get it, guys. When is Bitcoin going to 75K MLB? I just hit that topic on the head. So it looks maybe a shoulder before big crash below. I'm not really into head and shoulder patterns. Very, very easily identifiable. One of the most easiest patterns to be, invalidated. So don't really follow along with the head and shoulder patterns too often. I'm more likely just focus on straight up volume, guys. Just straight up volume. So right now it's the 1st of January. I'm giving you guys a little alpha here with this Bitcoin chart and a few other charts we're going to be covering. All of these charts are going to be posted with the long-term analysis into the Crypto Citadel, my private trading community and crypto community overall. So if you guys want to be a part of that, you definitely can. You can get 50% off right now your first month using the code CITADEL50, where you get daily chart analysis for day trades. You get my trading course, which is an hour and 36 minutes, exclusive trading indicators that I've created myself, live trading sessions that we do Monday through Thursday for 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every morning, and trading signals that are either for day trades or swing trades. All of that for $5 a day, guys, and it's 50% off right now with the code CITADEL50. And if you're saying, well, maybe that's too much for me, I'm not really I'm not quite sure if that's the right thing for me, right? Well, if you're not sure and you want to start learning what you could potentially take a little peek behind the curtains on what is happening in the Crypto Citadel, what are you going to be learning in the Crypto Citadel, then join my free trading webinar, guys. Join my free trading webinar. It's in 3 days on Sunday, January 4th, 11 a.m. Eastern time. All you got to do is put in your name and email and RSVP your slot. There is limited slots. We are more than 50% filled already. So make sure that you guys are filling in and RSVPing before it closes on you guys. But we will be doing this webinar at 11 a.m. Eastern time, January 4th. And we're going to be covering off this webinar. What are you going to be getting from this webinar? When you walk away, you're going to be able to walk away with identifying market structure, resistance, support, and market trend, right? Not just the structure, but the trend overall. We're going to the upside, we're going to the downside. What are some targets that we're looking for? What are some resistance levels? What are some support levels? You're going to be able to identify all this. And yes, it will not make you a day trader. That this one webinar will not make you a day trader, but it will allow you to start charting on your own charts, to identify structure, to identify key levels for dollar cost averaging, key levels to potentially take some profits and take some risk off the table, so that you can start analyzing data on your own and being able to analyze data just by charting and trading on spot, right? In the long term, like most long-term holders are doing, it's going to do you 90% better job than just blindly dollar cost averaging, following any random creator online off FOMO and hype, because that's all content is, guys. It's either FOMO or it's either FOMO with hype or some type of fear, right? Because that's what sells. That's what gets you to click. That's what gets you to smash those likes. That's what gets you to argue in the comments. That's what it's all about in content. And it doesn't really help you as an investor. So if you want to be and level up your investing game, you need to start analyzing data. Let's get back here into the chat. Appreciate everybody in here. We're going to be covering some more charts here in just a second. Just want to make sure I'm saying hi to everybody. Says, how about Zcash? We'll take a look at Zcash in just a second. Your price prediction for 2026 Bitcoin and Solana. Yes, guys. So I just covered Bitcoin's price predictions here, right? Critical level for Bitcoin is to break 98,000 and hold above 98. If we do, we're having a good chance of pushing towards all-time highs. If we can now break above 98 and we start pumping down, we start dropping down below 80,500, there's a good chance we hit 67 to 57 to the downside for Bitcoin after the rejection at 98, right? If we just drop right now from where we are at 87,800 first, we most likely would just take out the lows of 80,000. Don't really think we're going to go down straight to 67 at that point. We're just probably going to take the lows and then push towards the 98,000 zone. So that is what I'm looking at here for Bitcoin. Let's go take a look at Zcash. We'll take a look at silver here. Silver is still doing what it did, what I told everybody I was going to do yesterday, right? We came up to the $73 area, made a lower high, got hit with resistance and started dropping, coming down to as low as $70, almost $69.90. Targets overall to the downside is still 68.95. Maybe we hit it this week, maybe we don't, but overall we're still in a downtrend for silver on the way down, making lower highs. As you guys can see, we have the high all the way up here at 82, then we have a lower high at 78, now we have another lower high at 73. Unless these lower highs start getting broken, we are continuously going to be making lower highs and pushing towards that 68, potentially all the way down to as low as 50. So be very aware of that with silver. Now let's jump on over to Zcash, because everybody wants to know what is Zcash going to do next, right? Because Zcash has been one of these outperformers here in the last couple of months. So let me actually turn some of this off. And I'm going to chart this with you guys live here right now. Is this my Zcash chart? Where is my Zcash chart? Here we go. Okay. What the heck is this? Oh, no. Why is that regression trend all broken like that? That was weird. Okay. So we've hit our, so far, just how I told most people, right? We're getting rejected. We dropped down towards this $300 area. We front ran our target of 296, came back up to the November monthly NPOC, an average of 525, and now we've hit those targets. So let's look overall at where we could be headed here next. So let me get rid of some of these targets. They've already been met. Let's keep looking here. Let's get rid of this. All right, let's get the range for 2025 for Zcash. Let's get all of 2025's data here. January 1st, all the way to December 1st. Boom. All right. Let's get the yearly here. Yearly average for Zcash. I'm filling out the chart as we speak, guys. Give me some time here. We have a yearly NPOC all the way down at 35 bucks. All right. Let's get the quarterly. Q4 average. Okay. And now let's get the 6 month. We're already hitting the 6 month, so we don't need that one. Okay. Oh wait, that's the future. Never mind. That's the wrong one. All right, 6 month is right here as well. Okay. Almost done here. So Zcash, critical levels here for Zcash overall. Things that we need to look out for Zcash. Most of it still remains exactly the same. We're actually going to get a... yeah, why not? Let's see what we get here. Let's get rid of some of these trend-based Fibonacci's. And let's get right here from this low. All right. From this low for Zcash down on $24 to this high of 700 to this low here. Targets to the upside of continuation, right? If we're going to just continue going to the upside from that low to this high, we're looking at 1,100 to maybe 2,800 for Zcash if we continue to the upside, right? That's if we continue to the upside. Now, if we get this one doesn't have, let me go to a different Zcash chart here. Give me a second here. Before I do that, let me just hit these targets here for this chart on Zcash, and then we'll continue on the trend-based analysis. So Zcash right now is sitting at 525, right? We have some critical support zones of averages for Q4, 6 month, and the yearly, all between 451 to 431. If we lose that zone and we start dropping back into the 2025 yearly range, which we're currently above right now, right? Our first big target to the downside is going to be 296. That's going to be our first big target. If 296 is lost and we start closing weeklies and monthlies inside this 2025 yearly range, our next target to the downside would be 147. And obviously the yearly NPOC is all the way down at 35. Now, am I saying we're going to go to $35 from 526 tomorrow or anytime soon? Absolutely not. I'm just telling you guys that if we start losing 431, watch out for 296 to the downside. Watch out for 296 to the downside here. Now, let's move on to another Zcash chart here that will give us a better understanding of overall the entire chart of Zcash here. So from its previous high, right? Let's get trend here from its previous high. Come on, let's get it. Come on. From its previous high to its low. To this new high. Right. Targets to the downside are 222 to, as worst case scenario, $95, which makes a lot more sense. Still very drastic drop, but that is an overall trend based analysis from the very top of the previous cycle to its low to this new high right now. Now to the upside, if we want to get the highs, all right? If we want to get the highs here for Zcash off this chart right now, from the lows of 2020 to the high. Nope, this is a gold pocket, not a trend. From the lows to the high. Come on. Okay. We've already smashed through the 1-to-1. So let's look at some larger targets to the upside, which are, where is the 1.65? We got the 1.5. Where's the 1.5 at? Right here. So meanwhile, we stay up above this 1-to-1, which is 342, right? Targets to the upside. Best case scenario, 1,500 to 2,500 if we have a continuation of a macro target to the upside for Zcash. But we shall see. All right. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Guys, if anybody's jumping in here saying to follow them because they're going to give you something, it's a scam. Just block them. Let's go take a look at gold. Let me turn this indicator off here. Let's jump out to the daily. Let's go take a look at gold. Let's get the entire yearly range of 2025. January 1st. All the way December 31st. Let's get the yearly average. Don't know why this yearly average is being produced all the way down here. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Yearly MPLC. Let's get the quarterly. Quarterly average. Let's get 6 month. 6-month average here for gold. Almost done with the chart, and then I'll be able to read all the data to you guys. Clone it. Quarterly, we already did that, right? Yeah, we already did the quarterly, monthly. Monthly average. Bear with me here, guys. There's a lot of data on this chart. This chart is brand new. Almost done here. Clone this one more time. One more time. Okay. Now let's get just a basic gold pocket from the lows of 2025 to the highs. Let's turn this into template gold pocket. And this gold pocket, perfect. Very simple here, as well as let's get a trend-based target to the upside for gold from the lows to this high to this low. Come on. Continuation to the upside. Okay, so here we got all our targets to the downside and to the upside. So overall, gold right now is sitting at 4,300, right? 4,318. First target to the downside, if we push to the downside, is going to be 4135. We lose that, and we're coming towards the value area high of the 2025 yearly range, which is around 3994. If we fall into the 2025 yearly range, right, we have targets between 3819 to the gold pocket all the way down at 3332. That's the main target gold pocket retracement all the way to the downside. Now, to the upside, let's say we come down to 41, 43, even to the value area high of 2025 of $4,000 flat. We have a bounce. If we continue to the upside, the targets to the upside are between 47.42 to around 54.52. 54.52 is the gold pocket extension to the upside as its best target. The 1-to-1 would be all the way up at 6,500. Not something I'm really looking at until we start breaking through this gold pocket. This gold pocket extension to the upside of 54.52 is the main target that I'm looking for gold to the upside. Let's jump back here into the chat. Let's see what the chat is saying. What is the time frame for Bitcoin to go to 98K if it should get that high? Personally, I believe that if Bitcoin is going to go to 98K, it's going to happen sometime in Q1 of 2026. It's going to happen in Q1 of 2026. Maybe I'm off by a little bit. Maybe we get something where it's more at the end of Q1 and like the first month of Q2, right? Kind of time frame. So I can't be exact on when it's going to happen, but I definitely think overall encompassing, it should happen within the first 6 months. Within the first 6 months of the year, mainly thinking it's going to happen somewhere towards the end of Q1, maybe Q2. That is where it's going to happen. But my focus is mainly on Q1. And with a strong emphasis on January, and there's a reason for that. Not that we're gonna hit 98 exactly on January, but there's a very good chance that we run for it in January, which is something that we've exclusively talked about in the Crypto Citadel on why January is going to be such a strong and important month for Bitcoin to make a big decision here, a big time, game time decision of whether we're going to take out these highs and run towards the 98,000 or we're going to take out the lows of 80,000. There's something that's happening on the chart on the monthly that is very, very important, and it's something that we only discuss privately in the Crypto Citadel. Hey, Crusader, what are your thoughts on Filecoin? So I don't have any thoughts. Happy New Year's weekend. Thank you for the question. So I don't have any personal thoughts on Filecoin. I don't feel any type of way about it. I've never really invested on it. Just hopped on. Did you talk about XRP? No, we haven't talked about XRP just yet. We're going to talk about XRP here very soon. We're going to talk about XRP here very, very soon. So Filecoin overall, never been really invested in Filecoin, never really been interested in Filecoin. But overall, you know, it's an altcoin like anything else. When Bitcoin starts to make a move, that's when the altcoins are going to follow, right? Right now, Bitcoin's dominance continues to remain high, around 59%, has not had any significant pullback at all. And meanwhile, Bitcoin's dominance remains high. The altcoins are just going to follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin pumps, altcoins will pump. If Bitcoin dumps, altcoins are going to dump. So it's going to be the same thing for Filecoin. Now, let's jump on over to XRP. XRP is definitely one that I want to cover here. Let's go take a look at the XRP chart. Nope, this is not the XRP chart I'm looking for. XRP, it's in the game. So XRP here remains in its downtrend. What the heck is this? Get rid of this thing. Okay. Let's get this 2025 range. Come on. Boom. All right, here we go. Get rid of this target here. We have our yearly NPLC up at 241. We spent a very long time for XRP living below $2. We've spent the majority of, well, at least the last 2 weeks of December living below $2, living below this green zone here, which is not bueno for XRP. Let's get the 6 month here. Another target to the upside. 6 month average sitting at 224. Let's get the yearly average as well. Yearly average right on the 6 month as well. So a lot of sideways consolidation here. Let's get the quarterly. I can only imagine it's going to be something similar. Quarterly average around 205. So, yes, here, XRP's chart, right? Very simple. 2025's yearly range has all been above $2, right? Value area low is sitting at $1.99. Let's call it $2. XRP needs to get above that area and run for its targets. It has targets between 205 to 241 to the upside, along with a gold pocket around 281, right? This gold pocket is right below the value area high of the 2025 yearly range. We need to break above 291 if we're going to see any continuation to the upside and run for its local high of $3.66. Now, if XRP runs up to this 205, maybe even 224, and starts, let's say even all the way to the yearly MPC 241, right? If we run it all the way up here and then we fall back down and lose this yearly VWAP, right? We lose this yearly VWAP. This yearly value area low of 199. Our targets to the downside that are, why is this not in regular? Our targets to the downside which are between 149 to 113, are still on deck for XRP, right? Still on deck for XRP. If XRP does not hold above this $2 mark and stay above it, if we lose the yearly range of 2025 after we try to jump back into it in 2026 and we get rejected again, our targets down to 112 are still on the table for XRP. What's the lowest you think ETH and Bitcoin will go this bear market? If we will continue in the bear market for Bitcoin, I think, biggest targets to the downside I'm looking at are between 67 to 57. Can we still head lower? Absolutely, right? If we fully rotate the yearly range of 2024, the value area low is all the way down at $48,000. So that's definitely a possibility, but the main targets I'm looking for are between 67 to 57. We start dropping to below 70, down to that $67,000 area, and that's where I'm going to start buying Bitcoin again, buying heavy amounts of Bitcoin at that point in time. That's where I will start dollar cost averaging Bitcoin again. Appreciate everybody in here smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Happy New Year's, guys. Happy New Year's. Thank you, everybody. Hey, can I show you an interesting chart showing we topped last December, then in a bear market for 1 year, Bitcoin/gold. So there is something similar to that I saw over here. Where was it? Let me see. Where is it? So as you guys can see right here, here's a little image. You might, over on TikTok, you're not going to see it, but I appreciate everybody in TikTok smashing those likes, right? Starting from, let's say, 2015, right, where the cycles kind of steadied, because the first 5 years between 2010 through 2014 was a lot wilder, but where the 4-year cycle started to get established, right? 2015 was a green year, 35%. 2016 was a green year, 125 of annual percent return. 2017, 1,300, also a green year. So 3 green years. Then 2018 was a red year, negative 73%. Boom, 4-year cycle established, right? Then 2019, green year, up 95%. 2020, green year, up 300%. 2021, up 66%. And then we topped, right? And then 2022 was a bear cycle, negative 65%. Now go into 2023, green year, up 156. 2024, up 121, green year, only 2. And now going into the third year, which would still technically still have to be green, right? We actually closed in the red, negative 6% for 2025. So by this chart, by this data, right, the 4-year cycle that everybody has been super focused on is technically broken. Is it a super cycle? Maybe, right? We have had a very strong 2 years of upward price action. Yes, Bitcoin closed in the negative in 2025, and everybody's giving Bitcoin this very hard time. Oh, it's down 36% from its highs, yada yada yada. But guys, let's be real here. Let's be real. Bitcoin made multiple all-time highs in 2025. So let's not pretend like we're new here and that, all these other markets like gold and silver are so much better just because they just recently started to have a rally. And silver might have already topped or gotten very close to the top if it hasn't already, and has big targets to the downside that take multiple years, 10 plus years to hit, right? To hit those lows for silver. So I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin does enter a more bearish year in 2026, I think that we're going to have more upside first before we have a downside again in 2026 for Bitcoin. But we shall see. Only time will tell, guys. Only time will tell. Like I said, I'm very bullish overall. I'm very cautious, right? I'm a day trader, so I'll take the best trade available when the moment when the moment comes. Along with the crypto citadel, we're going to take the best trade possible every single day, every single week, every single month. And when it comes to dollar cost averaging, they're going to be the first ones to know when I'm dollar cost averaging. I told you guys I'm interested below 73. Below 73 is when I'm interested in scooping up spot Bitcoin as much as I possibly could. Can you please explain? Nope, I'm not going to do that. At what point do you think Michael Saylor will poop his pants? I don't think so. I don't think he will. He's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of strategies on how to raise more money. Yes, can he get delisted from the S&P 500? Yeah, that's 76% likelihood now over on Poly Market. Where's my Poly Market? Poly Market. Search up Saylor or what is it? Strategy. Where the heck is it, bro? Finance. It's not coming up now. But there's like a 76% chance on Poly Market that that strategy gets delisted from the S&P 500. But we shall see. I can't find it right now. I don't know where the heck it went. Delist. There you go. MicroStrategy delisted from the index by March 31st. 76% right now, 77% that it will happen. So we shall see. It doesn't really matter. Strategy, Saylor is going to continue buying Bitcoin, dollar cost averaging, and building his position. And I don't think he's going to back down from that. Crypto's down and no reason to look at it. It's not going anywhere for a while. That's not true, Will. That's not true at all. We're going to see some big moves in Q1 of 2026. Big moves are coming. Bitcoin not hitting 73K till March. Maybe. But overall, you got to get ready because this month, January, is going to be a big one. And this quarter overall is going to be a big one. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys in here right now. Give me a quick second and I will be right back, guys. I will be right back in just a second. And we're back. We're back. Appreciate everybody hanging on tight there real quick. Just had to take a little break. Stretch out the legs, you know what I mean? So let's see here. Where were we? How come in the bull market Bitcoin crashed? Bitcoin crashes multiple times in a bull market every single time historically. If we look at Bitcoin's chart historically, every single bull cycle we've had major pullbacks. I mean, look at 2024. Major pullbacks still pushed all-time highs. We dropped from 73,000 all the way down to 48, 49, and then rallied all the way to 109. Right? That happened in 2024. Back in 2021, we rallied from 18 all the way to 41, dropped to 28, and then from 28 we rallied all the way up to 58. From 58 we dropped down to 42 and then took it all the way to 64. From 64 we dropped all the way down to 29, and then from 29 we pumped it all the way back to 68 before eventually going into a bear market, long-term bear market again. So overall, large crashes in a bull cycle for Bitcoin have always been very, very common. And if you guys have been watching the channel here, you guys have been following me for any time, you guys have seen this chart already, which is very simple, right? 2024, we dumped 33% from the 74 high to the 48,000 low. Then we pumped 122% to the all-time high of 109. From 109, we dropped all the way down to 74, dropping another 31%. Continuously made a higher low. We pumped again, another 69%, taking us all the way to 126. From 126, we've dropped all the way to as low as 80,500, which is a 36% drop, all averaging around 36%. 33 to 36%, right? Those are the three large drops overall in the last 2 years for Bitcoin. Still making structurally a higher low here. Higher low, meaning that if this is the low and we don't not take out the lows of 80,500 and we start pushing up higher and we get above that 98,000, we might be running for an all-time high. We might likely be running for an all-time high. We shall see if that is going to happen, but overall, this market structure is still bullish. Everyone is super bearish on Bitcoin right now, when realistically, nothing super bearish has happened. We hit an all-time high, just like we did back in December of 2024, and then we dropped to a new low. But that low is still higher than the previous low. We did the same thing in 2024. We rallied to a high of 74. We dropped all the way down to 48, 49, which is still a higher low than the previous low. And then we pumped again, and then we pumped again. So structurally, nothing has changed for Bitcoin, yet everyone is extremely bearish because people are very narrow window focused. They were all hyper focused on Q4 having to be this massive rally, Santa rally to the upside. And because Q4 was not mega bullish, even though we hit an all-time high in October of 126, everyone is like, bear market, it's all over. The Bitcoin sucks. Gold is better. Silver is better. Everything else is better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin sucks. Why? When structurally, if you're looking at charts and not going off FOMO, hype, and fear from content creators, you're seeing that nothing structurally has changed. Can we head lower? Yes, it's still on the table, but there's nothing to be panicking about. Right? There's nothing to be panicking about when you're reading charts and knowing ahead of time, okay, if we do head lower, this is my game plan. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. If we do head higher, this is my game plan. X, Y, and Z, right? I'll take a short here. I'll take a long over here. I plan on taking profits here. I plan on buying over here, right? Meanwhile, you have a game plan and you know ahead of time of what you're going to do if certain scenarios play out, because that's all technical analysis is. Technical analysis is being able to look at multiple scenarios of what could happen, what are those levels that need to be hit for this scenario to play out or for this other scenario to play out. If this scenario plays out, this is what I'm looking to do. If this scenario B plays out, then I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And that's all technical analysis is. It's if else this, if else that, right? And game planning for those scenarios, not just blindly watching content like a zombie, right? And just tell me what to do. Okay, we're pumping now. We're back, baby. We're back. Oh, we're dumping. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. And that's all you hear from content creators. That's all you hear online. And everyone's making their decisions blindly based off that FOMO or that fear in that exact moment without knowing where things could be headed next, without looking at data. So overall, man, you got to look at data. If you're not reading charts, join the Crypto Citadel, guys. 2 days and 23 hours left to join. We're over 50% capacity already filled. So make sure you are RSVPing if you haven't already. It's completely free. Name and email is all you need. Register and you will be notified in your email when the webinar goes live January 4th, this Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. 1 hour 1 hour of your time, and you're going to be able to walk away from this webinar not being a day trader, because that's not what it's for, but it's for so you can actually identify trends, you can identify market structure, you can identify resistance, support, and targets within all that scope of time, so that you can actually be able to dollar cost average more precisely, know when to potentially take some risk off the table and take some profits, right? And so that you can level up your game as an investor, guys. Stop being blindly FOMOing at whatever you see online in a video. I want to join the webinar, guys. It's real simple. If you want to join the webinar, I'm going to be dropping the link here into the chat. Here's the chat. Here's the link, right? If you just want to join the Crypto Citadel and get the full access to my trading course, which is an hour and 36 minutes in hyper detail of a bunch of different indicators. We're going to be covering only 2 indicators to identify market structure in the webinar, but in the Crypto Citadel trading course, we go over more than 5 different indicators that we use all together, encompassing to be able to walk through an entire trade structure and how to take a day trade, how to take a long or a short, how to set all that up, and overall how to do macro long-term analysis at a more precise level. You get live trading sessions Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., 2 hours long. You get my trading indicators that I've programmed myself. You get daily chart analysis, macro long-term analysis, trade setups, and much more, guys. You can get 50% off the Crypto Citadel on your first month with using the code Citadel50. Citadel50. But if you're iffy, you're like, oh man, I don't really know if it's going to be worth my money, if it's worth my time, the webinar is going to give you a peek behind the curtain. The webinar will give you a peek behind the curtain to see what you're going to be learning and actually getting in the Crypto Citadel off this webinar. So make sure you guys are joining the webinar this Friday. It's absolutely free, and take advantage of that time. Let's keep jumping in here into the chat. Appreciate everybody here. I've been buying fear. Yeah, that's not a terrible strategy. We could definitely head lower, but if you have a bankroll, right? If you have a bankroll that you can continue to dollar cost average, that you know you're going to consistently have an extra $1,000, $2,000 at the end of each month, then yeah, you can definitely start dollar cost averaging now. But if you want to be more precise, I would be waiting for some lower levels. Just got here. Happy New Year, everyone. Appreciate it. So more downturn pressure? No, Sono, or I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. But honestly, for Bitcoin, we have a good chance of running up higher, man. We have a good chance of running up higher. It's all really going to depend. If we drop lower here first, I'm looking for a take of this 80,500. We take out this level. I don't think we're going to be dropping down to 73 to 67 just yet. I think we're going to take out 80,500. Maybe, get a little bit of fear, maybe dip into the 78,000 area, take it out, and then start rallying back towards the $98,000 area. 98,000 is hypercritical. Historically, that is the area that we come back to. And if we come back to 98,000 and get rejected, then lower we shall go, right? That's when I'll be looking for that $67,000 price point. But if we break above 98 and start closing weeklies and monthlies above 98,000, I'm looking for 104 to 111 and potentially a new all-time high by the end of Q2 of 2026. January to March, Bitcoin's going to pump, and then we dump into the election. We shall see. We shall see. I don't know about the election thing just yet. Hi, bro. Your thoughts on Ondo and Plume? Let's go take a look at Ondo. Ondo is definitely one that I like a lot. Let's go take a look at Ondo. Ondo here, definitely been a very significant downtrend. Coming down to its target, it's 1-to-1 of 33 cents. So let's go take a look here. Oops, did not mean to do that. Let's get the yearly range. $31st. Boom. Why is this thing in logarithmic? There we go. Oh, there we go. We're currently at 37 cents. Sorry. Our next big target here for Ondo to the downside, it's extended gold pocket to the downside is between 22 to 17 cents. We have a yearly NPOC up at 92 cents. We definitely have some targets between 55 to 92, between 55 to 79 before going into that 92-cent area. We need to get above the yearly range value area low of 67 to have a chance to run for this 92-cent area for Ondo. So that's going to be the big thing here for Ondo is, are we going to just continue dropping lower into this 22 to 17 cent area, then get a bounce? But we need to reclaim 67 cents for Ondo to have continuation and strength to the upside. And obviously, there's plenty of targets above $1, but I'm not even looking at that just yet. Right now, if we get above the value area low of the 2025 yearly range for Ondo, I'm looking at 74 to 92 cents for Ondo. Let's see here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Can it get much lower? It will be at 0. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Everything can go to 0, guys. Everything can go to 0. DCA Bitcoin 2026 all day. I definitely have big plans of dollar cost averaging Bitcoin if Bitcoin drops below 73. What's the link? The link for the webinar. Let me see if I can get you guys access to that link here. Actually, I won't be able to, but it's in my profile. So everybody in the chat on TikTok right now, go to my profile on TikTok, click on my little image right here, wherever it is, or up here. Go to my profile, click that link, and you're gonna see free trading 101 webinar. Click there, and you'll be able to register. If you have any issues finding it, make sure you send me a DM on TikTok. I'll never DM you first, but you can DM me, and we can and I can help you figure it out. It's good to buy Ondo despite the upcoming big unlock percentage. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that to buy big Ondo right now before this unlock. The unlock is going to happen, right? There's going to be an unlock that's going to happen over an extended period of time. But nonetheless, that's why Ondo could drop down. Where is my Ondo chart? Ondo could still drop down from 37 cents that it's at down to 22 to 17 cents. That can happen here in the month of January with this token unlock, especially if Bitcoin has a retracement, taking out the $80,000 price point first. So definitely something to keep an eye on, something that I'd be more interested in buying at that price point. Even though, with the token unlock, it'll be a lot harder for Ondo to make all-time highs well above $2 like it did back in 2024, right? Running back to 55 cents and even all the way up to 92 cents is still very possible, which would be a massive rally for Ondo, right? So let's say Ondo drops to 17, and from 17 to 92, you're looking at a 384% gain. 384% gain if it drops down to 17 and then pumps up to 92 cents. That's a massive gain. That's a great trade. I don't have any thoughts on Cookie DAO. Let's see here. Let's see. I'll make sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Tether bought 8,888 Bitcoin worth 779. Yeah, Tether is buying Bitcoin. Lots of big players are still buying Bitcoin. Structurally, everything is still very bullish for Bitcoin. Yes, it's just everyone in crypto has no patience and they all get very bearish very, very quickly. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys in here. Make sure you're joining the free webinar with the link in the profile. If you're on TikTok, go to my profile, find my profile icon, go there, find the link, click it, sign up. All it's completely free. Name and email is all you need. It's going to be on January 4th, this Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And you'll be able to walk away from that webinar learning how to read a chart, how to post indicators on the chart to find market structure, market trend, targets, resistance, support, and much more, right? You're not going to be a day trader, but you will be able to macro chart most assets, and you will be able to use that to help yourself dollar cost average more wisely and stop getting fear and FOMO in these markets, guys. So make sure you guys are joining there. You'll be able to get a peek behind the curtain of what we cover, what we go through, and what we learn in the Crypto Citadel every single day, along with the trading that we do in the Crypto Citadel every day. my private trading community, which is $5 a day, but you can get it 50% off your first month just to try it out for using the code CITADEL50. The link to that is also in the profile on TikTok and in the description for YouTube and everything else, guys. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. I'm going to go take a break, hang out with the family for a while. I might go live later today again, but I'll see you guys later, guys. I'm Blockchain Crusader, Crusading through these blockchains. And until next time, I'll see you in the Crypto Citadel. See ya.